toy ewa Ghana ha megidi se obia ebi eto ewo umpesha sana so wasoye na sede ni na yenimu no some places ewa Ghana ha se nsuo eto a ya na enyasem keto omo emfa no easy ye ka me ani bia ebi ti se nkran ha nsuo taya na binumu emfa no ahogono so kra na enra nsem bebre na etimi esiye nsem bebre so na etimi ye den ekoso so yebehwe sede esi ekokosiye na enra hwe de wa flood no esi eba na afibia eba because you read June July bia man nsu tuto no eba even last year kwa December kwa na nsu egu so eto ye hu flooding but flooding we die abusia na anoden mena wo ka say efa nipa binum bebre e de wo mokoi anopai report bia mensa e kan ye young man bia na ne maame abrewa nsuo no sebe etimi efa abrewai e de koi na kofono ma bebre to esai kofono ma bebre enso esai corporate biti sa chimota titiriwa nkofo efrimu pa ana enye asem ketua the same way suna somewhere circle biem circle enso ebiem circle enso biem sana enonso etimi ebae na enye asem ketua na enye asem ketua kra ema alajo kra mpo no eja efa mu a eno nso etumi ebaye na I think say yebehwe videos ni bi do yebehwe de yebehwe na problem anasa asem obia ebisa ne say efrim ran su tuto ehya ase anase de bia nsu to anase flooding anansu hiri baaya efa nipa won kran no enye nne nsu hiri abagana ba eba bia efa nipa eba bia esai noma eba bia chese ede oye nenu ohaw ne esu na bre nipa sabe o anamo be na nipa da sani yetu afa ho na empo ye bebisa se ede be pote ena ema ne basa because ede elim se anka ogba ade nhihye mu no nsuto ewo ho nsuo beto ebegu edan so ebegu efom nsuo beto ehia se nke begu nobaye so na nka nobaye no be den ebe fifi but enne ensuo beto ana nipa da sani a yete asaye so ehia nsuo no na eyam hihye enne nsuo ba beto a ana nsuo to a na nipa yete asase so no anka first na anka ehia nsuo se nsuo ntongu ye no baye so nsuo nto na efom nyamre ogba ade hihye mu nsuo nto na nhira mbra no enne nsuo to na ye haw so baby say fitimra flood na se nsu hiri hia se ehiri ye no e wo man Ghana mu ha no ye nipa eba eto ye tiem so the next year na ebeba no anamo be na ya yetufa ho na nsu hiri ne kura no nsu to a ye nyina nim se wo se egu fom nsu to a egu fom sabe obi ani ho wasi ne dan aboso anawa rufi so a nsu to a nsu no sabe eto wo ne dan mu nsu to abonten na egu fom enti na mpanifo se nsuo to ye na mante a ade achi yeso ma hu fom ana because nsuo nto nipa dem nemo nsuo to abonten enti ye estimate dan ewufi so kama na ye hyem obi wa self control obi kura mansion enne obi kura single room kura po se ma to da nsuo to awonte because nsuo nto dem se dem de kaka na ni mu to abonten nti obi ti me da na obesore no ni mpo se nsuo ato di se opia abonten no we se formal for nanso eya kwa me se enne nsuo to a eto oni pada sani dem asif se sabio edan na esisi no ye nrufi so enti se nsuo to na eto ni pada mu a na eto ye dem last year last 2 years last 3 years last 4 years edeba na ni pada sani ye betimi adan ayafa ho ye ede na nipa da celebrate ma ya fa ho ena me njembesi endi nkomobi na yenhwe se nipa da sani Nyankopon aboya ba asase so no asebe woma ya adwen eda yetimu no sebe etoda ye mu binom ye nyusu adwen no sebe etoda ye mu binom ye nyusu adwen na Nyankopon ede amaye no se nipa no ede ntina meka sa se na meka se nsuo to abonten no hwe ye yi gutters from main road street any baby bia ansuo to a gata bia lidi ekobo baby na nyina akwapu but enkran akra hatitru kwablane beye nwura awie na watu na ni ahwe nifa benkum obia ni ho ni wapagya enwura hwe enwura na that evening so ahwe we sabe enya me maame saman ena betu nwura we de gu nsuo no mo sabe enya honhum bia na betu sa nwura we e de gu nsuo no mu sa nwura we ya egu nsuo no ni a wo hwe e nipa da sani a yete Ghana ha yete nkran yete asase we so kwablane num ni pure water no bottle water we onum ni drink we a polythene no na ye jai de ato ho eye nipa na eye nipa producer na video ba ku bi kura ho ensuo na to na gata I think circle no ensuo na to na gata na yama na ensuo ni hiri a ekoba no na afe na oba besia nipa da sani edi ball ese gu nsuo nim se nsuo no emfa ball ane nko thank you me da say video ni hwe ensuo ni to gata na ayama sa no gata na ayama sa no alajo na ene nipa wu ho na Yesu na Ghana man pani di awe ho man nyina di awe ho no police I think o share video ni du mo sa baya bi young girl make say bibia wa co school make say bibia wa co school ensuo ni to na enam gata ni mu a ekọ no eho no say pagya nwura ona de begu nsuo ni mu eho na ensuo timi to hwe mo hwe abaya no echo hwe mo hwe no abusia se mo Ghana hwe ewura no ohwegu onu na dwen ni se odi nwura na igu nsuo no se nsuo no fa nwura no ko mo hwe young girl alaje ho na nsuo afa nipa na eja hihie si wa nipa ewu no hwe de nipa la sani ye no hwe echo no hwegu nanti se ye we ya e de na expect no se ye we ya e de be pa na ye expect ene munim say some places wager no important bebre na titinsuo na no matina wager pay omu sisi na wo nsuo na no in fact ukoto asase nsuo no e ka kire wo say ha ban nsuo nipa na sani se mepe unim say ne enkofo obresia se so mu si dan wa na mu si wo nsuo ho anase ba bia ense so mu si dan na nipa na sani na adwo so obesi dan nti ono atimi fa red paint no de akotwe dan na ono osi no ba bia wo si dan ni nye o kwabrani timi si dan wo nsuo nie na nipa na sani se mato asase still ho na mi si me dan because say AMA ebe stop ni say ana municipal best stop ni say e mani si dan nti no atimi fa red paint na e dan no anka say si no anka sa atwere ho say stop work by AMA say the be ya assembly for ni du ho a o mewu say okay e dan we ya twere ho enti ye ntwam no man ko ho sa no de asidan na wie ewom sa reho sam na aba to rencham na aba abusu say wunya bi hwa wo de ko Facebook ɔde share poku on Facebook ensuo na ato a ehiri efa nipa saa no enua ala joni achimota eye west enipa ma nipa da sani ma bosume nkro ma o na wo hwe edan ensuo ni bia mem edan a ya build foundation na pege edan si ho no na ensuo da kru pempo ni o na ensuo we ka se to aso 3 days a se ensuo we ka se to aso pa continuously 3 days a ene se be wu Mr. Ghana Mampani, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Dear Ekosu won kran enye the first time nie. Ghana so. Ba why Accra? Yensu na ye free sebe yeti krom ye ni ate. Ghana bro chire ye nkran. Ye na ye se yete ha. Yene yesi obi anja yemu nanso nsuo to a na yewu anya afa na ehya ase asi so me bisa se ede ben na ye ya fa ho ye de na afa ho me pese me ka se mo bebre some of the courses na me dey say Ghana Mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama eno akọ to bi ọkọ aprobo bi owi onu ankasa de betu dwa yesi pani dwale wi ada nsu asa me nka na obi abeka se me di obi atem anopa yi o Mampani no se mete se o ka se wo se wakache finance minister ato force so release skabi na omo ho kan ye no ato renchem no to omo no ye mfa support omo eye ka anke bia nke etimi so no mo bia etimi bo ye ho ban etimi preventing no mo bia anka nkwa ankodu sei ene se $1 million kula mpona Mampani be release say em fan support sa nipa ye omo ho akan ya eye ka because em free president Mahama botom kaya san ko kan sa to force na release this kano anka wan kasa enwa na Ghana Mampani atu helicopter na odi na wiem police am say sa video no wa yen hwe Ghana Mampani o Ghana Mampani tu helicopter na na mawiem e wa Accra oduwa bi kra na o kasa ha ya chimota won yesi ane onamalajo na wonam he na okasa Mampani kwa aprobo wie ye no okasai enu Ghana Mampani ti plane mu what helicopter mu na o chini won kran because wanya ne sa enye ye ontumi mfaka anko ontumi nante se odina land cruiser bulletproof ni mpoko ya ontimi nte osof oni option bia so ofa plane hwe amenda ye nuanum GH1 fo ase omo na kwa no omo de maya no pai ye nuanu omo ye no omo a hwe aeroplane mu view na ye hwe no Mampani ti wiem onam wiem ena no hwe omo na ti plane mu no ti no omo de nam awaso omo de helicopter ne nante within Accra babia especially circle alajo achimota ne important no hwe said de ne manfo ho aka said de oman na ye Mampani ti plane na no ra ho utu se papa no ra ho ewo ni mu se ede ba sempani hwe Ghana Mampani hwe se papa ti plane mu ne ra ho enti enti no mo de helicopter ni echini saa no mo de nam e no mo hwe places no ba bi e ho aka me wi a mebo mampani video after say o call turn wi o si free helicopter no mu no mebo ni video nsama mampani kan mebo me wi anam de aso so mebo na watie nsama Ghana mampani kan ye na watie na mampani kan nsam ni wi a woto o hu say flood no yen na start ye afibia nsutobra no na nsuo no increase afibia ekonanim nti ede ben ena na yen ye ya fa ho ena hwe enipa na awu no omo ja pade asey stores akese enkrofo adan enkrofo cars enipa awu enya asem ketwa dakro pensuo dakro pe until the whole day mpo not even 24 hours or few hours no I'm not then abusuya yankwati Ghana mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama after the tour now call no Greater Accra no over flooding no yankwati Ghana mampani na yentie nsem o kan ye mampani na bobo the courses ana normal esisi e ma flooding no etimi baaye mesi pani dware na nsu asa nya me na meka no bia be ka se mi because me sha asesa me kan se de meka no e bia obi tifi obeka se mi di na tem because wudi wani pa hoko hu nipa da sani enkra ho kwabrane be ye bola woni fie wie ne wa pagya hwa ho bia mba twa o ne gugata no mu ene enkra krodua yi mu street bebre gata se ni nyina choki hwe enu Ghana mampani esi flip helicopter no mu no enie ye play na okoto ne foforo ba ene nie e fede okwa probo nyina wan kan pumpiri mantama wie ye no afi ne wasi fom santwefo ben no obesi na wakasa abuso me se na me nche pani dware wi na nsu asa anya me na meka na courses no me se me kasa meka kan asem bia yenka bi ko me de bani ahu bi da me de bani ahu bi da me de bani ahu bi da enti abusuya yanko te Ghana mampani wi a mepon causes of the flood nearby no mampani ankasa de betudwa producer let's roll.
We just finished an aerial tour of Accra to inspect the flooded areas. Unfortunately, the flooding has been very extensive today for several reasons. One, the recorded rainfall today is one of the highest in several years. The Meteo are looking at approximately 140 millimeters that was dumped on Accra. Last year, the maximum rainfall was 56 on a single day. And so the volumes are much higher. And so there are many issues to the flooding in Accra. There's climate. If you look at the rainfall pattern from 2024, 2025, 2026, you see that increasingly every year we're getting more rain in Accra than we used to get. GMET say that in 2024, for a period of 30 days in June, we had 85 millimeters of rain. And then in 2025, it increased to 172. And then in 2026, for the same 30-day period in June, it increased to 333. And so the waterways are not getting chance to recover before more rain is dumped. And the wet days are more. Out of 30 days, 22 days, it kept raining. And so there were only 7 dry days or 8 dry days in June. And so that's the climate side. That is an act of God that we can't control. But then there's also the engineering and the man-made causes. That is, like I said before, Accra is built between two natural bodies, the Kwapim Mountain Range and the Atlantic Ocean. And before Accra was built, the streams used to flow through this plain to reach the sea. Now, the British brought the capital to Accra, and in those years it was not a problem because Accra was a very small city. But as the population continues to increase and people continue to build, it restricts the path of the streams on their way to the Atlantic. So that's an engineering problem. We need to see how to open the channel so that the water can pass. But then there's also the other aspect, which is attitudinal and human behavior. That is dumping garbage in the drains, putting all kinds of items in the drains after we finish creating waste instead of sending it to the appropriate place. Even in the air, we discovered many illicit dumping sites where the wetlands are. People have gone to create a waste dumping ground, and they charge 20 cedis for the aboboya to come and fill the waste into the wetlands. And when it has filled sufficiently, they sell the land to people to come and build on it. And so we need to, one, look at it from an engineering perspective in terms of how we can open up the channels, but at the same time look at how we can identify all the buildings that are obstructing the waterways. We've said this many times. I'm tired of hearing it, but anytime you begin to take action and you start breaking houses, people think that government is inhumane. But when the problem arises like this flood, it affects everybody. And so all of us have been affected because of the conduct of a few people blocking the channels and preventing the water from passing. And so we'll call a National Security Council meeting. We're asking every district to identify, together with the Works and Housing Ministry, where the blockages in the channels are as they pass through the district assemblies, so that we can earmark those places for removal. We'll not only break the houses, we have to move the rubble out of the way, because there's no use breaking a house and leaving the rubble in the waterway. It's just the same as leaving the house. And so it's going to be quite a major issue in order to resolve the problem of Accra. But ultimately, the other solution will be to decongest Accra. And that's why we're planning that we move some of the city out, that is the major government departments, and then also create a new center of growth so that our people will start building outside Accra in a new city instead of everybody looking for some space in Accra to build. So, but that's a long-term solution. Like I said, it's a 20-year project. They are still working on the designs. Once they do that, we'll demarcate. People can start buying plots. If they like, they can start building houses. We'll do the roads, bring the water and electricity so that it eases the pressure on Accra as a city. But I just want to express my sympathy with people who have lost property. Loss of property has been very extensive, and I want to thank the military, NADMO, the police, and the Hydro Works and Housing Ministry, and all the emergency response team, 48th Engineers Regiment, for the rescue that they did. I've seen many of the videos where people had to be carried out of their houses. They deployed their boats, and they helped to save quite a lot of lives. NADMO will do what it can to try and identify the victims and see how we can just support them in a way in the next few days. I've asked the Minister of Finance to release some money from the contingency fund so that we can do some post-flood relief for persons who have been affected. And so let me again express my sympathy, but let us change our attitude and let us find a permanent solution to this Accra flooding problem. We shouldn't become like the vulture who, anytime